matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football.
The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. What if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard a few times growing up?
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Let's go.
Going quickly here to Thomas. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Watch screen.
Looking to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. The numbers for Hill a week ago. 9 catches, 51 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. On first down, Murray. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7. Second and 5 now. Carr got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So here are the Saints to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. You got nothing. Shift. Get it. Go.
On the ground, it's Clement to start the drive. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Ready.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Thomas has got it. Complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. His first career touchdown pass, and it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Carr on the bootleg. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 22 yards there, a first down.
Our game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And this will be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now. That's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll begin on the ground with Clement. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this one complete to Smith. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up a throw. That's caught by Treadwell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. He'll look to throw, and that's caught by Smith. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. 2nd and 4. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Laquan Treadwell. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. That time a 9-play drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A first half update now from Philadelphia. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. We'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Carr got his man. It's Williams. 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Tyrell Williams, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
On the set. Mike 50. I got him. Get it.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. Murray has the first down and more. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Mike 56. You don't want that. Bravo. You don't want it? 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Night, sweetheart.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again. Carr. Waller taking it in over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And that one going no make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. He gets it to Thomas. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Able to shake him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. As his guys are in for 6, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. So the very rare blocked punt scooped and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going to go to Clement here out of the backfield. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 2nd and 6. It's Hill, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Back to throw, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking here for Smith. It's caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. 10th carry of the game now, Murray. And he'll get Lagba there on the stop.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. The kick by Lutz is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
So Carr and the Raiders now down 23-20, 1:53 remaining. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Back to throw, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They'll go for it. It's Carr. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. It's complete to Williams. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and that'll bring up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. Once again, it's Jacobs, and he will have a first down here at about that, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Pulled in at the 24. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Carr. He's got his man. It's Williams. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Carr going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He completes it to Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. Now remember, this Heim running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long